Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We'll be looking at some stories on the show this evening, lovely evening in the city of Abuja, and we'll be looking at some sporting story. Like I always say on this show, that is the sporting year, and sports is all through 2024. Now let's begin with this fantastic story from the Confederation of African Volleyball. Now the CAF offers Nigeria and others equipment special training sessions to see how they can improve on the game on the continent of Africa individually, coach, players, administrators. Now the Confederation of African Volleyball Association has offered to actually share some light and see how this game can improve and how they can develop it and bring it up to standard like what we used to have in Europe. I have Ayola. I have two guests on the show this evening. Ayola from Benin City will be joining me, and Ademuyiwa also from Lagos will be joining me again on the show this evening. But let's start with Ayola all the way from Benin City on this particular story where the Confederation of African Volleyball, Confederation of African Volleyball, I want to say football, not football, now volleyball, has actually extended a hand of fellowship, and a very good one, for the development of the sport on the continent of Africa, and Nigeria also is going to benefit from this fantastic idea coming in from the authorities, the governing authorities on the continent of Africa. Okay, Ayola is not there, is not ready yet. For Muyiwa, I don't know what's your thought and what's your take about this move from the Confederation of African Volleyball.
It's a welcome development. It's quite.
I don't think I hear you clearly.
It's quite interesting. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
It's quite interesting. It's a welcome development. Maybe with such equipment, it will further enhance those players to some more opportunity and improve them in their playing career, considering the fact that some of the players are now moving out, the likes of Uda and Bello. So Bello from of our volleyball team. So considering that, I think the equipment will also enhance their improvement as far as their playing career is concerned. And I'm hoping going to the African Games, the team will actually make us proud as well.
Okay, now Muyiwa, if you look at it, how will you rate the level of volleyball in Nigeria? Because if you look at the federation, Muyiwa, I think the Nigeria Volleyball Federation has been doing a fantastic job in regards of volleyball in the country.
Yes, they have. But you know, I think it's a lack of wider coverage that has been their bane. Shall I understand? So it has been a good sport, and they have been striving to at least make the activities, or the, will I say, the event gets to a wider audience. You understand? We can. I think I can't even pinpoint about 2 to 3 journalists that are covering volleyball. So we will give it to Dare Kuti, because he has been doing his best, knowing fully whether he's much of coverage. So I think what they need is wider coverage, and they are doing well. They are not doing bad, but I think they just need to reach out to the larger audience through a wider coverage as well.
Okay, I can proudly tell you that on Trust TV you get every news about volleyball on our sports show. That is what I can tell you for free. Okay, please, Ayola, if you can hear me, you just need to reposition, because you just need to reposition, so that put on your video so that we can see you clearly, so that the viewers at home can see your face. They want to see the man behind the speakers, the mic, who is talking. Please, if you can hear me, quickly do that while we go ahead on the show. Okay, let's leave volleyball and go straight to Ghana, where our female cricket team, our women's cricket team, have arrived in that country. They left on Tuesday, and they are already in Ghana ahead of their opener against the 19th ranked team in the world, that is Tanzania, who they just played at the just concluded NCF Invitational Tournament at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos. Muyiwa, you were right there. You caught actions of those games between the Yellow Greens, the female Yellow Greens of Nigeria, and their counterpart. Ayola is ready, but I will start with Muyiwa on this one because he is based in Lagos, and he caught the actions of the cricket game at the cricket oval in Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos. But for our guests, how sharp do you think they are? Their first game is against a team they just played over the weekend in the NCF Cricket T20 International Invitational Tournament.
They are considering to what happened last on Sunday in their game. I am so much optimistic that they are coming out victorious. So nothing will stop them in their first game when they get to as far as African games is concerned. So I know there are some kind of there are some kind of
Okay, we lost Demo. You are there. Ayola, quickly, we have one of the best cricket over where you are. Benin City is there, and this team was camped in Benin City before the T20 Invitational Tournament in Lagos. They just left Benin, and Lagos is not far apart. I believe it's 2 hours journey, and they left Benin for Lagos, where they did so well, and they won. They came second in the tournament behind Tanzania, who won the NCF Invitational Tournament. And they will be playing this team, who is ranked 19th in the world, in their first game tomorrow at the African Games.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough call for Nigeria. I know that about this one, because you're playing against Tanzania, a more stronger side than Nigeria. We shouldn't take that away from them. But the good thing here is that Nigeria, over the years, in the last 2-3 years, under the Cricket Federation President Apata, they've been improving day by day with facilities, with players, and with so many tune-up games, competition, the South-South, the Southeast competition, the Southwest competition, and we've seen good players selected across the nation. And even in Benin City here, I think we've got wonderful cricket players. But going against Tanzania, it's going to be a very tough call for them, no doubt about this one. I believe they want to push themselves up a bit. They played against them in the final last time out, and I think that should be like a curtain raiser for this match that is coming up, and maybe work on one or two of the lapses and do well against Tanzania. But so I'm very optimistic, and I'm hopeful that they'll be able to give us good outing out there at the African Games.
Yes, good outing at the African Games. Ademoyiwa, this team will play the toughest teams on the continent of Africa. They will play Tanzania first, their first game tomorrow, Thursday, and 7th, and then that will follow. After Tanzania, they will play Namibia, and then their last game was going to be against South Africa, the highest ranked team on the continent of Africa, and you know their position in the world ranking. South Africa is a threat, but they will be playing them last. How do you think our yellow women's female green will fare against these powerhouses in cricket? Tanzania fine, Namibia and South Africa, these are the biggest hurdles. For these ladies.
I believe they are well prepared. So they are going there to show what they are capable of doing. So I think, like you said, it's only South Africa I'm seeing as a team that will be very difficult to beat. But anything can come up in their first game against Tanzania, and I'm not seeing Namibia holding them to anything. So hopefully, I believe they will come out with something meaningful.
Okay, they will come out with something meaningful. They are playing against the 19th, 17th, and the 5th best team in the world when it comes to cricket. Ayola, let's look at the game of South Africa. The biggest test for these ladies, the 5th best team in the world, that is South Africa. And you know where our ranking is on the continent in the world. We are ranked, I think, 42nd in the world. Now we will be playing the 5th best team. Well, sometimes I do say rankings don't play, most especially football. football, rankings don't play football. I don't see rankings actually affecting any sport. Once you get to the pitch, the court or whatever, you need to show your strength. Now, but we'll be playing them, and it's good that we'll be playing South Africa last.
Yeah, it's good we are playing South Africa last, and before we playing against them, we already have a definition of what we are going to do in the competition. Probably we are advancing or we are not advancing. I just hope that game will not be a do or die affair for us. But because in all honesty, even if I happen to be their coach, I can only spur them to go all out and prove their worth and try to show the world. But we all know that South Africa is a bigger team to Nigeria when it comes to cricket. We are just growing. So, but there will be no C if there is a shocker. However, I feel that the game should just be like a learning curve for us ahead of other bigger competition that will be playing up against each other.
Okay, the game should just be a learning curve for us. Cricket will be debuting at the African Games for the first time. We'll be having this game on the African Games, and it's a good thing that we have a Nigerian there that will be participating in the sport. Cricket sport. All right, let's go straight to Europe and talk some round leather game. Tonight, actions continue in the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League, and we have games lined up for tonight, and the big one will be happening at Bernabeu. That is the perennial winners of the UEFA Champions League, Real Madrid, who are holding a slim lead from the first leg in Germany. They will be at home at the Santiago Bernabeu against RB Leipzig. 1-0, they won the first leg in favor of them. And then Manchester City will be at Etihad, where they slaughtered Manchester United over the weekend 3-1 in that game. We'll be hosting the team from Denmark, FC Copenhagen. Now, Ayola, we'll start with you quickly. Real Madrid against Leipzig of Germany. Jude Bellingham is back, though he was red carded over the weekend. I don't think that red card is going to bring down his morale going into this game, because the UEFA Champions League is a different ball game, and the White Angels will be at home.
Yeah, red card is not going to be any issue for Jude Bellingham. He's a footballer, and he's already aware that either you get yellow carded or you get red carded, or in future you get blue carded. In the world of football. So, and I believe that they also have psychologists in the team, the Le Merengues. 1-0 away win against Leipzig. It's going to be a very difficult one for Leipzig to obtain at the Santiago Bernabeu. So I'm picking Real Madrid to go all out in this one and complete the job at the Bernabeu and secure that place in the quarterfinal. They are, of course, the king of the Champions League.
They are the king of Champions League. For you, Ademo, you are Manchester City. They got the job done in the first leg, but we've seen results being overturned. Now, Man City will be hosting a young team, Copenhagen from Denmark. What's your take about that game? Do you think the young lads from Denmark can turn things around and then probably push Manchester City out of the Champions League?
I'm not seeing that happening. The City has made it more easier for themselves. Going to the first leg to win 3-1. So I know there are so many surprises in football, but I don't think Copenhagen can make one happen in this tonight. So I'm seeing Manchester City scaling through with ease.
Okay, you see Manchester City scaling through with ease. Those games will be coming up tonight, and we hope, just as Ayola and Ademuyiwa opined, the Real Madrid to go through, Manchester City to go through. At the end of the day, if this team don't go through, then their fans will come for the two of you. All right, there's one game in the Europa League also, in the playoff, the round of 16 in the Europa League will be coming up tonight, just one game. Sporting Lisbon will be playing against Atlanta, and we'll be looking at this Atlanta team of Ademola Lookman. Lookman has not really gotten goal in Europe this season. 18 games so far without a goal in Europe for Ademola Lookman. But in the league, he's scoring with reckless abandon. Over the weekend, his goal wasn't enough, though, for them when they lost to Bologna. Do you think the fortunes of Ademola Lookman will turn around tonight in Portugal, Ayola? Okay, okay. Muyiwa, if you are there, what I'm saying is that for Ademola Lookman, 18 games in Europe this season, he hasn't gotten any goal. Do you think that jinx is going to be broken tonight against Sporting Lisbon in Portugal?
Nothing is impossible. It's possible to happen, but I don't think, because looking at Sporting Lisbon, they are not just any out team as well. So, and considering the fact that Atlanta lost to Bologna in their Sierra fixtures the last game, so they will want to at least buckle up and not see a second consecutive defeat. So I feel there is more for them to do, and going all out to Portugal to make a point, and I feel they can as well come up with something if they are much more determined. But as we all know, Sporting Lisbon is not just any out team to put over. So we saw what they did against the Arsenal the last time. So they should just try and brace up.
All right, let's see how that game going tonight between Atlanta and Sporting Lisbon of Portugal, right there at Sporting Lisbon Stadium in Portugal. Right, let's leave the Europa fixture and look at about 2 transfer stories on the show quickly before we go. Let's begin with this one. Manchester City also, they are keen on snapping up Joshua Kimmich, who this summer, who is also on the radar of other clubs in Europe like Liverpool and co. And for Joshua Kimmich, this is a fantastic player. He has played under Pep Guardiola when he was with Bayern Munich. Do you think that, Muyiwa, do you think that will play out for this man to leave Bayern and go to Manchester City? Do you think because of his relation, having played under Pep Guardiola, that will be something that will also attract him to join him at Etihad Stadium?
It will actually be a plus to him, because if you are looking at Pep Guardiola, he doesn't just take any out players. And looking at his record, he always knows what he's going for. So being that he is his former player, so I think it's a plus for him, both for him and Pep himself.
Okay, it's a plus for him, both for him and Pep. Ayola, I don't know if you are in support. Should Joshua Kimmich remain at Bayern or leave to join Pep Guardiola at Manchester City?
Well, it's a relative decision for him anyways. It depends on what he wants. It depends on what he feels he's going to get at Manchester City or get at the Bayern Munich. I believe he's been in the Bayern Munich for a very long time, but maybe if you like changing our system, changing environment, and he may decide to want to go with Pep Guardiola. He has played with him before, and if it is Pep Guardiola that really wants him, that is a very good plus for him, because if the coach wants him, it's different to if the club wants him. So if the coach wants him, the coach will let him know, okay, this is what I want to come and do for me, and I believe that will suit him well. That will make him fit in well to the team as early as possible. It's not a bad move for him to Joshua Kimmich, then Manchester City. It's going to be plus for the two sides.
Yes, it's going to be a very big plus. He's a versatile player. He can play at the midfield position. That is where he plays for the national team. And he can play at the right back, at any defensive position at the back line. So good one if he goes to Manchester City. And Pep Guardiola, he knows how to tweak these players. You can see how he has converted John Stone to be playing at the middle of the pack alongside the fantastic Rodri. All right, let's quickly look at the last one on the show this evening before we go. Liverpool have their eyes on Pedro Neto of Wolves. Wolves, Pedro Neto, fantastic player. He's a good winger, and you know how he is his move in the league. Ayola, quickly, Pedro Neto, Liverpool, we know that at the end of the season, Jurgen Klopp will be leaving that team. But this time around, they also want to beef up the team if this might eventually leave. And whoever that is coming, at least should meet some good player in the team. So for Pedro Neto, Liverpool have their eyes on him.
Yeah, I think he should not be in a hurry to sign for Liverpool. He should take his time. Reason is because Liverpool is going to have a new coach at the end of the season, and we don't know what philosophy, what style of play this coach is going to bring to the table. If the coach gets there and the coach doesn't like him, it's going to be a bad move for him. Maybe he should take his time. When the season ends, then we can negotiate with whoever is going to be. Because I believe that the moment the season ends, Liverpool should be announcing their coach because of preseason and all that. And I believe by then we can now have a meeting with the management of Liverpool as well as with the coach to know if fitting into their plan for the subsequent season. But for me, I feel it should take his time. Though he's not a bad player, but a coach might come in and feel that it doesn't suit his style of play. So it should take his time before taking the move.
Or he should take his time before making the move. All right, that is where we're going to leave it on the show sports update this evening. Ademuyiwa, I know you'll be joining others in Ghana. I hope you come back with a medal for us, Ademuyiwa, if you are in Ghana. And that is what we want to see. And to you, Ayola from Benin, it's a good one having the two of you on the show this evening, sports update. Thanks for joining us, and it's a wonderful one. And that is it on the program this evening. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.